You can tell, COINTEL, my clique has never failed. My boat has never sunk, my ship has never sailed. My hope is never shaken, my spirit is never broken. My legs are never open, my words will always be quoted. My vision is focused. Tell the POTUS I don't trust him, he'll never be noticed. I think it's time that I put you all on notice. I'm the one, David Ruffin, I'll never be Otis. If I did it, then it better work. The music industry hates me cause I'll never twerk. I'm in a different world, each verse brings the metaverse. Optometrist, I change vision like the Oculus. Watch me fly over Metropolis. Tell all the populace, rise from sarcophagus. No hypothesis, I see apocalypse. Muhammad's disciple speaks like a prophetess. We got him like we got him like, yeah. We got him like. Tell the people we coming through and we got them like. It's they love from the west, coming strong, Cali's best. We got them like. Tell the people we coming through and we got them like.
See, I done came from the bottom. I usually choose peace, today we choose violence. And they don't really know what to do, and I'ma keep banging the truth. Lyrically impeccable, irrepressible spectacle. I could turn a vegetable into an intellectual. My ancestors celestial, go beyond the skeleton. Fact checking these rappers, none of these credible. If it don't apply to the fly, it's a hypothetical. It's just the type of that you kicking is unacceptable. If you're not helping me grow, I'm just not available. I want the whole left side of a decimal, incredible. I ain't even hardly reached my pinnacle. Jump in the cypher and turn it into a festival. Bang on the game till the game need medical. I'ma keep grinding till it's unpreventable. Middle finger, you haters, but that'll be unprofessional. We ain't just not compatible. I am too undetectable. Put the pedal, the metal hitting your mental. My pen penetrating your sensory. You looking terrible. Whoa, whoa, all I see is green light bulbs. East New York, Brooklyn, let it go. My light might be an iPhone. Third eye, I see the rival. See my arrival.
We got him like. We got him like. Yeah. We got him like. Tell the people we coming through and we got him like.
It's that Nick, run the East New York, we run the streets.
We got him like. Tell the people we coming through and we got him like.
You know. We the creme de la creme. They give us accolades, but that's God working through us. We send praises up to Him. Brotherhood tight, sisterhood tight, nation building, team players. We all shooting in the gym. Got the guys with me, got the FOI with me. If we gotta go to war, then we fighting to the death. Not a betting man, but if I was and you ask me who I put my money on, you know I'm putting it on them. Come through, they gotta respect, they gotta tip they hat. Don't disrespect our women, word bond, we'll kill for that. In the field, working with bullets, fly like we in Iraq. I do this for the family, I rap, but this way deeper than rap. Stand up, solid soldiers with me, we don't back though. I don't deal with milk toast brothers like I'm lactose. Every time I come in first, they act like they was rooting for me. Whole time I know they wanted me to come in last though. La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulallah. If it wasn't for you, I know I wouldn't have made it through Allah. Grant me protection on this mission that I pursue, Allah. I know with you behind me, there ain't nothing that I can't do, Allah. You know.
We got him like. We got him like. Yeah. We got him like. Tell the people we coming through and we got him like.
It's GC from the shop. FOI till I die.
We got him like. Tell the people we coming through and we got him like. It's ain't love.
Yes. I'm telling you, like, that's how you get it started. All right, you can't keep that to yourself. If you was sitting still, you the problem. You understand what I'm saying? If you was sitting still while that was going on, it was like, you know, like you weren't ready to change your life or change somebody else's life. Something wrong with you. But peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of Blue Notes Radio. Place when not this phone. Your host now is One a Lot. You see who we have here. Okay, I was like, I made a supplication. I was like, I need some love over here. You understand what I'm saying? I need some love. I need some healing. And Allah did not disappoint. You see who we have here in the mix. We was here with the prelude to this masterful event. The event is over. I seen some of the footage. I was like, you understand? I had teary-eyed. I was like, look at the family out here doing what they're doing and stuff. See what I'm saying? So it becomes my honor and privilege that it's time to introduce some and to others and welcome back to the platform. our gift from a mighty warrior in the person of Angelica X, and she brought some of her warrior tribe up in here. You understand what I'm saying? We got my one ancestral representative. I love her. I know her for 4,000 years, 75 life cycles. You understand what I'm saying? Every time I see her, she's doing something new. She's a gift to the planet in regards to healing through sound, through all kinds of sound, whether it's performative sound or sound healing within itself. The loctician, the vegan mastermind, my sister warrior, Natural Onyx. And we got one of these dynamic speakers that's going to speak you to life, okay? She's going to speak you from a dead level to a living perpendicular. You know, if you in a dead state, you cannot be in her presence, this magical, mystical mastermind motivator. So let's give it up for our warrior sister, Farah, in the building. All right. So how y'all feeling, Warrior Queens? What's going on? What's happening? How you feeling? The event is over. How was the event? I need to know every little bit of detail y'all can share with me. You understand what I'm saying? If y'all can share it with me.
Well, I guess I'll start it off. Well, I am well by the grace of Allah. I feel good. I'm grateful just for this opportunity again. Thank you so much, for allowing me space on your platform. You always come through. Like I said, you're my brother. I love what you do. So praise be to Allah. And honestly, the event was absolutely amazing. Just being able to share space with different sisters and being able to build that. I felt like now, I'm not going to lie, I was getting nervous. I'm like, ain't nobody coming. What's going on? People late. So I was getting nervous. Like, what do I do? Do I talk to myself? I done got a videographer, but they was just like, hey, just do it, even if it's just us in here. I'm like, okay, whatever. But, then as time went on, people started coming in and I'm like, okay, cool. So, like, I can honestly say, like, when we had first started out, I'm like, dang, the event didn't really even get started yet. I was already in tears. My mama making me cry. My friend making me cry. Like, oh, Lord, okay, we got to get started because the healing didn't already begin. But it was a good experience. I loved it. I love being able to also share that special moment again with all the different sisters and also allow people just to see my sisters to see just the different creativity that my sister Onyx had with our sound bowls and how beautiful my sister Farah speaks and different blogs and things that she does inspiring women. So I'm like, that was just a perfect combination within itself. So I'm like, yeah, y'all gotta join me, okay? So yeah.
Okay. Farah, Natural Onyx, your stories, the backstory, your takeaways from the event, how you got involved, why you got involved, and whatever interactions y'all want to share in regards to that.
Well, I just feel like the event was an extremely powerful and beautiful communing of women. To piggyback off of what you were saying, Angelica, with the healing beginning before the event even starts, to me just speaks to how just being able to gather and be in a room with each other, which is something that we don't get to do often because life, has its different modalities that separates us, keeps us busy from gathering together. Just the opportunity to gather as women sometimes is the first step to healing, So separated and alone, we don't really understand how as soon as we gather, our mycelium network starts connecting before we even start speaking this language that we've been taught. There's another language that speaks first, and that language begins those first steps of healing just by communing. So it was so beautiful just to see how receptive and open. There was one sister who had her daughter in presence, and it was just beautiful just watching her intake, from such a young age. It just made me reflect on myself when I was 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, the different rooms that I was in that helped shape me as a woman, as a divine, intentional woman at that. So it was just so awesome, the the amount of encouragement, the PowerPoints and the presentation that Angelica put together, the specific people that she chose to get quotes from, it was needed. And it's so amazing when we are reminded how all we have to do really is just be ourselves. What's needed is going to be present. Sometimes we can't get into overthinking mode when curating these type of events and want to have everything in place. And it's so beautiful to watch everything rise in place, regardless of our plans, and just that vibration that we automatically put out there to the world. You know, it's going to be received, and it was received so well. You know, at this event, I look forward to many more events and many more women being able to have access to the ability to commune amongst each other. And spoke from her blog. I was in tears. I wasn't expecting to actually be. I kind of was, because you automatically are a participant, you know. But it was so engaging that I had to participate. Like, I have to state my voice here and speak my take my opportunity to speak what's from my heart, you know, as well. So it was pulling, you know, it was pulling everyone's vibrations to the center vibration point, to where we could all just vibrate together.
Following that, for me, it was a great experience. I do a lot of writing, more of a ghostwriter. I'm behind the scenes. I don't do a lot of speaking events per se. People just normally read my blogs and they're like, you know, totally amazed. So when she asked me to do it, at first I was like, I'm not about to get up and do that. But then it was my sister. You can't say no to Angelica. So I was okay with it. And I'm glad that I did. Like she said, healing started like when we first walked in the door. It was just amazing. The embracing, like Sister Onyx said, we don't get a chance to come together as women. You know, most people see Black women as being angry. We don't like each other. So to see how we all embraced each other, we did an exercise where it said, you know, to find a sister and see what you had in common. And I met a sister where we had so much in common. I was like, you sure you're not my real sister? Because it was amazing. Like, energy was just amazing. And there was not a dry eye. Definitely, I'm a crybaby anyway. So it was just, for me, like, eye-opening, spiritually connecting. There wasn't anything that I could say bad about it at all. And the one thing I really took from it was gaining my Godfidence, like, plus God, and that just has stuck with me, and I've been using it everywhere I go. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's my sister Angelica. That she did that. So it was an amazing event, and I was so blessed to have been chosen to be a person to help bring that into fruition. So absolutely.
Confidence. Whew. Okay. Where is the t-shirt? I need the t-shirt. I need the hoodie. I need the mug. I need the motivation. I need the inspiration. I need
Listen.
all of the all. Okay.
Listen, it's coming. I was just thinking about that today, actually, just like all the things that I be saying, and like that confidence, man. That man, that I people said it before, but it just spoke volume to me because I actually feel like I'm living it. You know, just being in the spirit of God and allowing Him to work with me has brought my confidence to a level that I can't explain. It's just like I love it. So yeah.
The Holy Quran says, which of the favors of your Lord will you deny?
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? So y'all there in this space. Oh. Miss Farrakhan, you sure we ain't related? You sure you ain't my sister? You understand what I'm saying? Because you went directly in my mind and pulled the thing out from my mind chiefly. Y'all are defying stereotypes, generational curses, all of those things that's associated with, oh, Black people, we can't never come together. If we could just come together, this is people are talking about we can't, we could just, if we could just, then you break down the section to Black women like, I'll be messing with Black women like that. They too messy and da 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 yada yada. Mama said, right? So coming together, Natural Onyx, you hit it. It was like just being in the same space divinely intentional changes the trajectory. Just being in the same space, you see each other finally, not through the internet, not through somebody else's lens. Y'all physically see each other, mother, sister, daughter, niece, cousin, auntie, all the powers of the womb space of the universe coming together. So I definitely want y'all reflections as mothers going into the space, sisters, aunties, all of those things, and that kind of experience of a catalyst of how healing it is, and the healing takeaways from just being present in the space without devices, just there being in tune and engaging in all of those things, and the healing takeaways from that experience.
I'll start because for me, it definitely healing. I had just actually lost my husband. Nobody knew at the time. Nobody had a clue what I was going through, but it was just like we just felt each other. And Onyx, when I say hugs and being in her presence is always a blessing to me. Like every time I see her, I'm like, I'll move everybody out the way to come get a hug from her. Okay, because it's so healing. And it really healed a piece of me where I was angry from the young man that took my son's life. And it was just like, it just lifted all of that. And if anything, I felt sorry. And I just really wanted to embrace the young man who did it. So it did something totally different for me that I was expecting. I was just thinking like, I'm going to go in here and speak, going to eat some good food, ha ha, hee hee. But it was so much more deeper than that. It really, really was for me.
Yeah, myself, similar. I was expecting, people. Came in with those intentions. I didn't know how deep I was going to be able to open up, because you never know. Your spirit is going to allow you to open up. So as I started to the guidance just came over me, and it spoke to me through. We're not written down. This was just downloads that was coming to me, and I allow myself to vibrate right now. So it was so empowering, and hindsight, time in my younger years, out of shyness, out of my true self, and all that such. So being able to be in spaces, here to do is always, it's always responses from all the women, because sometimes as a woman we just feel like so just doing what receive how needed. It's just such a beautiful release, and a lot of times we need those moments to continue doing our work here in this world. So it was just it was just awesome. It was awesome. I give thanks to you, Angelica, for
being pies, and we met over trash.
Okay.
We were doing a neighborhood cleanup, and so I want to be a part of that, and
Yes.
going ever since.
Oh wow. The person, like, emotional. Connected to self and God. You can really, really feel the aura, and the spirit in the room was like, I felt like some of the things that you're hearing hearing just the beautiful commentary from this way about me, listening to that sound bowl. I couldn't even speak after that. It was just so profound. And all of that within itself, just I continue. I that I can't say that before sisterhood until I actually know and put something together. I ain't gonna say kind of actually put something together to help us reconnect, because there's so many things that we go through as women that we think that we can handle by ourselves. Of course, we just create you by yourself. There's so many people out here that has been through the same things that you've been through in life, and sometimes, you know, from what I've been taught, like God speaks to us in different ways. If it's through people, if it's through a dream, or if it's like directly God speaking to you. And I believe God sends angels down here to help us, you know, in our journey and our path. So when you have a sister in a room that you've never met before, and you actually get a chance to speak with her, like my sister Farah, she spoke about the activity I had with the sisterhood. Iron sharpens iron. That was the concept of the activity. You know, just within that activity alone, you found so much about this one person. And just like my sister said, she's like, hey, I'm gonna have to check ask my mama and daddy if I ain't got another sister, because it'd be like that amazing. And I realized even in my journey of just healing how much it was so important for me to actually have someone there, and not just have somebody there when it came to I would say, like, not just having someone like a companion or like, you know, family, but just that sister, that other woman that actually has been through what you've been through, and actually hearing how she went through it. It brings a different perspective in the way you go about things for me. So it was just, to me, like I said, it was overall just inspiring to me, and also just made me think about how much we need these type of environments, especially for our younger women. I think that's my real main target, because, you know, like you said, you know, we've been stereotyped as being aggressive and masculine and angry and argumentative and stuff like that. And, you know, most of it comes from, I believe, just things that we've been through when we were younger, not having that father figure, most of us, and not being taught and told, but understanding that once you get to a point where you understand that that's what you went through, you go connect with somebody else and you go embark on a healing journey with someone else. That's actually my theme. I'm gonna put that on the shirt. But I always say healing is a journey, but you should not have to heal alone. This journey is not for you to be alone. You know, so as many people that you can bring on to this healing, to this journey of healing, even if it's just you directly helping heal them, because it may be something in you that you done been through, that you done conquered, that may help that other person conquer what it is that they need to conquer. So you know, it takes a village, you know, and I believe, like, you know, for the woman, you know, brother, like, you know, 75% of the work is with the woman. So with us having so much of a work to do in order to bring a change into the world, we need each other as women, as sisters, more than we need anyone else. That's what I believe, you know. So yeah, I love it. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that, you know, my sisters came through and helped me with the event. I really, really appreciate them. And within that, I ended up building a connection and bond. Like, I swear, I felt like it was such a intimate event that I forgot I was even doing an event. Like, I'm just like laughing and just giggling and like, oh snap, let me get back to the PowerPoint. Okay, this is what we talking about. So it was just that intimate to where like we built that connection just off of just, you know, us just communion and being with each other. So I enjoyed it.
I love that. I love that. So Natural Onyx, Farah, I want y'all to kind of share some of your story. I see you got the bowls in front of you. You understand what I'm saying? I know you from the microphone. I know you as a loctician. I know you as the vegan specialist. Okay, this is the vegan whisperer. Okay, she will whisper the meat out of you. You won't even want no meat no more. You be like, you understand what I'm saying to you. I know you in so many different modalities. Please share your healing journey in regards to the sound healing, how long you've been doing it, benefits, things like that. And then, Sister Farah, for you, where and how did you find your authentic voice and that call to charge or the catalyst for you to speak? So, those are the
Yes.
questions I have.
First, to say a statement that just came to mind while Angelica was speaking, and that, you know, that was just like moments like these and movements that we're doing in these times. This is how we move from the mind frame of independence to interdependence, realizing that we do actually need each other. Just like, as many people know, I'm a lock health specialist, but just like our lock strands, your hair on its own can grow really long, and when it comes together, it's just undeniably strong, and it's going to go down the corner and around the block, up the street a couple times, you know. So that interdependence part in my life right now is very big. When it comes to sound frequency healing in general, I came out the womb with. It was through singing. It was the particular type of frequencies my mom played into the household. But in particular, it's the sound bowls I was introduced to probably once I reached double digits, between 10 and 13 years old. I was introduced to my first crystals, which happened to be the onyx stone, which plays a big part into why I took on the name Natural Onyx. And the sound bowl, my mom had me introduced to it at a very young age, and she played it in our household, and I loved it. I loved it. She played also the keys and the harp. So these were all musical instruments that brought healing to me, like just release calmness, you know. So I grew up in an atmosphere that was conducive to growth and healing. And once I became a mom and an adult, I got my first sound bowl, and I was doing this for myself and my family. So it was my own personal journey. Through gaining strength and confidence, through gaining my confidence, okay? Through gaining my confidence, I allow myself to let go of shyness and ego. Ego and pertaining to thinking like this offering is only for me. I don't like not to share this, you know. It was like this fear of sharing it to the world, because it's like, no, this is what you do. You don't have to, you know. But I had clients in the lock community who was requesting different things from me, as far as, you know, different ways to eat better, different type of modalities they can utilize to calm their mind. So I started to offer sound bowls slowly but surely to my community. I started offering these meditations by the name of the Healing Mind, group meditations at my home in Cincinnati. And then that led me on a journey to move into Dayton, and I offer it to the community here at Dayton as well. But I had one powerful experience that really encouraged me that this was needed into the community. And I started gardening. I grew some peppers on my balcony, and I went out of town and came back and my peppers died. Brown, dry, brittled up, and Spirit was like, play a sound bowl for them. So I have a handheld heart chakra bowl. I start playing and singing to the plants with the intention, like, this is healing these plants. You know, as I'm playing and singing, a sprout, a little seed sprout just starts sprouting up out of my pot. And I just thought that was so amazing to me. It looked like those cartoons when you're younger and the guy's playing the flute and then the rope is coming up out the bowl. You know, so I'm like, is this seed really sprouting in front of my face? You know, and that next morning, so I took a video of my plants, because I'm like, okay, the next morning I come out and my pepper plants are green. and the leaves have come completely back. They are flowering, and there is a pepper bud about to come on this plant. And in that moment, I knew this is real. Like, I knew it was real, but this was my physical representation to show me this is real. And sound, what we listen to, plays such a deeper effect and impact on our insides that we can't see, you know. And it's the reason why when we listen to certain frequencies, club music, you know, you're getting irate, you're getting rowdy because the frequency in the music. So there's frequencies, just like there is foods for each part of your body to heal from, there's frequencies for each shell of your body to heal from as well. And it is real. So it allowed me to be even more mindful of what I consume. I just led myself, I went on this journey of what am I consuming with all of my senses? You know, hearing, sight, smell, touch, feel. What am I consuming with all of these senses? Because this is how I'm feeding and nourishing myself. And as they say, you are what you eat. So it gave me the confidence to be like, you know what, you are going to offer this sound bowl healing. You're not going to shy away from your vocal. You're going to open up your throat chakra. I had a lot of throat chakra blockages from my younger years, you know, dealing with older cousins and family members who probably, you know, just were being children. Not even probably, they were being children. So it was like just little notions that you don't know how quick some of the spell words that we say can belittle confidence and allow them to not shine. So you have all these different barriers to push through as a child growing up in this world. And I'm here to say, share all of that. Get all your confidence out, guys, you know, and do what you feel is rightfully spirited led within you, you know. So, yeah, I started offering sound bowl. At first, it was just only sound. I wasn't opening up my mouth to do guided meditations with it. After I shed that part of shyness, then I was able to do guided meditations, and then I was able to openly sing over the sound bowls, which was something ironically so easy for me to do over a track, over the live music on the stage, because I practiced letting go of that shyness. And this was just another layer that I practiced to let go to show the people, you know. We all have a lot of amazing talents in this world, and sometimes it's just one little thing that one little hump we gotta get over in order to be like, yeah, I actually really do this. So that's my story as a sound healer, crystal bowls. But as a sound healer, I always just been there. That's how I healed myself, utilizing my own power of music, power of word, and the power of understanding, understanding, overstanding, outstanding. All of that, you know. So through the Most High, I was able to follow my path intentionally and give myself acceptance that I can do that and not worry about what anybody else has to think about it.
Okay. I ain't got no lock, so I was popping my collar for her. You understand? Y'all see me over there. It's like, what is he doing? Okay. I'm popping it for her. Okay.
I thought you was getting hot over there.
She get popping. She get it popping over there. You understand what I'm saying? So, thank you, Natural Onyx.
To follow that.
Thank you. Right.
Yes,
ma'am. You got it. It's like work. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So writing in school, winning, like, I don't know if you remember the Lucia May Wyatt speech contest, and they had the Dr. Martin Luther King poetry and prose. So that's kind of where mine started. And I stopped for a while because I had some things happen. And, you know, I had a brother. He said, you know what, you need to really get back to this because you have a lot to say. You have a story. You have a testimony. So I run around, and I finally decided to do it. And it's like the tears from the first poem that I wrote when I got back out here. And I'm talking about men and women. It is letting me know that this gift is not for me. It's for my sisters and my brothers. So ever since maybe about 3 years ago, I've been back at it nonstop. And it like I said, it's healing for other people, but it's healing for me too. So I'm healing myself, but I'm helping heal others. And that's the pleasure I get out of it. I'm real simple. It's I love and I love people. People know I'm a people person. And you see me, I just love people.
So can you share one of them examples over this since you came back? Like you mentioned the tears, you mentioned the applause. One of those examples, one of the millions of stories that you can have from these lives you can touch and change that you may not know or you may know. Where you was like, okay, God, this is it. I'm back. Really, this is one of them experiences.
One experience would definitely have to be reconnecting a father and his son. And it was called Dear Black Man. And they hadn't spoken in about 20 years. And it was just ironic. They both ended up at one of my shows. And from then on, they've been back in stride. Like they never left each other. So that was probably the most impactful thing for me to see a Black man and his son reconnect because of the emotions that my poetry brought to him.
Angelica, you see, she tried to slide by like I'm just simple, y'all. I ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah, she tried to
I
slide
didn't
by.
reconnected her family. Do you know what it means?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can I share a little secret with y'all? I've been a Black man my whole life. In case y'all didn't know, you understand what I'm saying? And the level of ego we have sometimes as a Black man, like the level of guardedness, the level of what that is. When that thing is missing, you have all of the visceral type of energy in the world. When Tupac said, I was all the time I was looking for a father, he was gone. That stain on your brain, your heart, your mind, that's one of the most vulnerable spaces where you're looking for yourself. And you begin to look at yourself and say, I'm not good enough. It had to be something that I did. These things turn inward. They turn inward and then they turn outward. And they could turn outwardly violent. So to have two men find themselves in each other and in your space, that is all of the healing in the universe. You see what I'm saying? So in the nation, they say when you teach a man, you teach an individual. When you teach a woman, you teach a nation. You brought a nation back together that was estranged and that was in war with one another. So the decision to be not present and the decision to live in that space where you aren't present is volatile, it's warlike, it's confusing, it's chaotic, it's crazy. And then the world begins to feel the effect from that. So the womb, where life is cultivated and life comes into existence, brought these two synapses back together. I don't want you to make light of any of that. You understand what I'm saying to you? Yeah. Like you gave life back to the place that was barren. A place that was barren because you burn up and desecrate and destroy in places where you're devoid of love. And how else would you be able to show love? How is he son and how is he father? But by your womb. But your womb makes him father and your womb makes him son. So when you heard Sister Angelica, that's why I love her so much. 75% of the work is with the woman. So 1/4. So you like, if all this work doing with the woman, what is the man doing? It's 1/4. I'm talking like 1/4. Like there's a space where we snap to attention in that space when we rightly guide it, where we are called to do a work. It's just an instant. You see what I'm saying? In the Muslim world, they have the call to prayer. When you hear the call to prayer, folks come running. So think about the man in the space, righteously guided. He hears the call. He hears that word and he moves now. Righteously. Naturally, he's going to move, but is he going to move in accordance with his nature? So your womb, your sincere divine intentions. That's why when you said with divine intention, Natural Onyx, it was everything, because with divine intention It's how creation comes into existence. So this is why we say, like, by the permission of Allah, because with that divine decree, that kun fayakun, that be and it is, that's a womb. And from that gestation period of the womb, life. You understand what I'm saying? So I just wanted to share that real brief.
Come on, Brother Jonathan.
Because
boy,
when we look at our talents, our gifts, and our skills, like y'all was saying, sometimes it's just like I'm just here, or this is something that I naturally do, and blah blah blah. Like you need a reminder sometimes, because comfortability breeds content. Like you get content. You just like, oh, I'm just used to you being a certain kind of way. Like, wait a minute, no. So when you don't recognize that, when you don't elevate that, when you don't continue to sow into that space, dissatisfaction comes into place. And now we're giving birth into spaces of dissatisfaction. So I just wanted to share that really quick. Sister Angelica, I know Mama was in the building. I know she in the chat. I know she watching. Okay. So I need to know a tiny bit. And I ain't getting all in your business, because I don't want you to take the switch off the tree and be like, But mother to mother, and I think for everybody, mother to mother, just mothering a nation, mothering a nation. One event, one interaction at the time. What is that weight like, and how can the support systems via the men be better suited in the space of facilitation from what you saw, what you experienced along this healing journey and working with folks healing? How can we be better suited in these positions to be like, oh, she's supposed to be to help me? Like, no, we supposed to be to help me, fam. You understand what I'm saying? So how do we meet these divine expectations that's placed on us by Almighty God? How can we be better with one another in that regard?
I recently spoke about it on a podcast I did probably 2 weeks ago. I truly believe when it comes to the Black man, yes, I'm going to say Black man, I believe that healing has been kind of categorized only for like the women. To me, that's what I'm seeing. But there's almost back to the man actually knowing who he is, knowing his value, and wanted the Black man to do, like, what is his duty. We all came to purpose, set intentions. He had intentions when he brought us here on this earth, right? And when we're not supposed to do, and I say that broadly because everyone filtered of connecting with self, that's spirituality, being able to get to know who you are. I just been seeing it lately, is really turning the man and female, because you're seeing the woman being more they put her up, and then you're seeing the man being lowered down into this, honestly. So because of that, us as women, naturally we're wanting something from men that we're not getting, because they're not involved if it has anything to do with this world, or the things they're eating, or the things that they're doing, entertainment. Really, like, for the Black man, like, for them being able to help us in this take accountability and get on that healing journey as well. Being able to, man, what your duty is to the woman. Just like we all have, like I said, we all have a duty, and within duty comes love. So when a man is doing what he's supposed to be doing as a man, that's when love grows. And that's when the love it is she needs to do for the Black man, because he's fulfilling his duty. I'm fulfilling my duty to the Black man. So once we just really, I really want myself, when we start counter focusing on self, the Black man can just focus on self and what it is that he has to do, naturally you will actually see a change. I feel like you'll see like a actual universal change in the way that men and Black focus on their duties they have to do. I'm focused on my duty as a woman, and that's where love grows. Valuable as well for the man to study the woman, just as well as women study men. If we're actually able to just know how the Black man thinks and how he operates, I think it can really alleviate a lot of issues that we see going on. Because sometimes, like I remember Minister Dr. Ava, may Allah be pleased, in one of her books, I think it's Naturally Beautiful, she stated, and I'm not saying it verbatim, but she was just stating how men naturally don't they're by nature, they naturally don't care as far as like for the woman's needs. And I believe she was saying it in a sense of, because they're more logical thinking, you'll have to kind of teach a man to learn how to emotionally love you, because it's not in their nature, because of the way that, Allah kind of prepare their minds to be. So just understanding that, and me seeing how men are, me seeing how it's kind of hard to some men to get more emotional than, women, or whatever the case may be. Just understanding that made me think like, wow, like I really don't even understand men. Let me understand the man. Let me understand how they think, and I think that's the same way as the men, as the men. The men should, find time to actually study the woman and study what her needs and study what she needs, so he can be able to fulfill his part when it comes to being a maintainer of the woman. So yeah.
It was just very, I agree. That's very powerful points in there. I feel like I don't know if it's that as different beings we're wired completely differently, or if it's that in this system we're conditioned pretty differently. So for me, I feel like the biggest thing was to speak to Angelica's point that men can do to be of assistance is give themselves grace to learn themselves. I think that was a very powerful point. And then space to be. Because a lot of times I think in this world we find ourselves in situations and in peer groups where we don't have the opportunity to be, because we're trying to follow a conditioning. Opportunity to truly just be. From birth, we come out and we are programmed. Soon as we come out the womb, there's a whole system that's going to shoot you up with all these different medications. As soon as you come out the womb, you're into this big experiment lab, and you're like looking at all these different tools. As soon as you come out the room, so we're just existing in a system that has from beginning to end created an outline of how someone thinks you should exist. And then we're following this outline with all the TV shows we watch, with all the music we listen to. These are programs. Our great grandmother, I gotta go watch my programs, baby. Like not really understanding the spell work within that word, because you literally are watching the program to be programmed. So a lot of people, unfortunately, don't have the opportunity to be who they naturally are, because we're not granted the space to even learn who we naturally are. We go to preschool and we learn programming. So we learn how to operate in this system particular, not our ancient ancestor systems. We don't get to learn about the envision of future systems or any of that. So, so for me, it's just like being open to unlearn is very important for men and women. But since we're asking about how men can be of help, being open to unlearn and relearn, is very, very important. And, just being open to find that you before the programming, and figuring out what that was. That comes with a lot of shedding. Like, we're programmed in a lot of many ways we don't really even understand. Once you really start digging in that hole within yourself, you'll be like, dang, was this a program? Dang, was that? I remember actually watching that show, and this is why I was acting like this in high school. Like there's so many different ways that, and layers like the onion that we have to unpeel in order to like build ourselves back together. So it's like laying out that goal of what is the being that I want to be, whether it's man or woman. What type of human do I want to be? And then what programs do I need to put in place? Because I can program myself. If I can be programmed, then I can program myself. So what layers, what tools, what modalities do I need to put in place so that I am continuously programming myself to my goal being? And I think that that's very important. And that would be one of the biggest assets to the community as a whole. And that would allow us to bring back that village that once was. And we're doing it. I feel like we're being placed in different locations across the globe, and specifically to vibrate there so that we can show a different way.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that we touched on when we were at our, what do you want to call it, our sisterhood retreat. She spoke about just being able to rest in our feminine energy, and how we're unlearning all the things that we were taught wrong, or as you say, we're programmed. And that's why I express with me, I'm relearning. I'm learning who I am. I'm learning where I really came from and who I am as a woman. So, the more that we do this, the more we can, wake up our other sisters and brothers. Because like you said, men need to know about women and women need to know about men. But definitely the masculine energy, the feminine energy, all that across the board, I definitely agree with.
Enmity breeds enemy. Enmity breeds enemy. It's one of them things I borrow from y'all. I don't steal from y'all. I steal from other people. But y'all, I borrow from you. Okay? Enmity breeds enemy. So that enmity, in the Bible said, I will place enmity between this seed and thy seed. You strike that head and thy heel. So in this modality, when we're dealing with this enemy from within, this adage to say, if there's no enemy within, the enemy without can do you no harm. So we know the science and technology. And in that space of breeding dissatisfaction either makes devil or makes God. Mm-hmm. Dissatisfaction either makes devil or God. So that space is in regards to what the ancients would say is what you feed. So if enmity is sold and I reject it, it has no space for it to grow. Mm. But if enmity begins to grow and it's fed and it's exacerbated and it's fed and it's exacerbated, after time, it takes over space. This is how disease works to shut down key systems in the body. It goes from a space of a small thing to a large thing over time due to neglect. So it don't take no limited time for it to happen. It's not like it takes hundreds of thousands of years. It could take a few minutes. Because if you're voicing something and I don't hear it or I don't see it as a concern, that's the space where the enmity turns into enemy. And the longer I don't deal with that or don't reconcile that kind of situation, I made an enemy out of you. I made an enemy out of you based off of that inability to be able to reconcile or to speak to this particular concern. So if you deal with this and then you look at the timetable just here in the hells of North America, you got 400 years of that. At every junction, anytime it looked like it's some space of progress, anytime it looked like some space of reconciliation, when we get closer and closer together. In that last matrix, they were talking about these two entities, right? And they had to keep them separate. They had to keep them separate. They had to keep them away from each other. But the power of them operating in their natural space, they had an inclination to try to find each other, no matter how many times, no matter what they had to go through. So vestigially, we see that on the screen and it looks unalike. But we know that this is our journey, that there's a force at work internally and externally to speak to that space of separation or enmity to make us an enemy out of one another. So we don't find our way back to one another. So when we see each other, we don't recognize one another. So we see each other as an enemy and expect unity to come from disunity. So finding our way back to one another in that space is something that is very powerful. And those lines of communication, whether they're hard sometimes, whether they're difficult sometimes, they have to remain open, because in that space, that's a space where we can see one another. This is why your voices are important. This is why your thoughts are important. This is why everything that comes from you is a thing that's necessary to sustain life. Last thing I say is, the Bible says life and death is in the power of the tongue. You don't have to say something for something to come into existence. All you have to do is think a thing. And it is. You know, so we say kum pai kum, be your mind. So because it's in the womb of your mind and you give it thought and credence, it begins to come into existence. So us being mindful of one another and our duty and responsibility to one another, our makeup, and all of those things, they're vital important. So the last thing I'll ask is about the children, because we spoke about the children. Children was at this event. Look, everybody's like, okay, all the mamas smiling, like I was like, you see what I'm saying? Look. So the children oftentimes are lost in the shuffle at a lot of things that we're doing, because we're looking to find ourselves, and then whatever we get in the way, probably, even though the most of Muhammad said, give you babies milk, and we milked our way, and then we just coming with the steak and like, all right, mothering and fathering to the youth. What are some of the things that y'all noticed along the way to bridge the gap into the youth? Because you see who is. So we want to have a viable option for our nation to continue. We have to find a way back to our children. So,
just being a mother who just lost her son, my thing is being honest. You know, not like spoon feeding what we've been taught, just really getting to the point of telling our children that some of us were, and then as for me, a lot of the things that I thought were true, and I'm finding out on my journey now to reconnecting to who I am, I'm finding out like, wow, that's not true. And instead of continuing that generational curse or that generational stuff, I found being more open and honest with them is helping them find who they are, so they don't have to go through finding who they are later on in life. I'm 45. I have a son who's 24, so he won't have to be 45 trying to still figure it out in the sense of and giving them that space, a safe space.
I agree 100%. She said a very key thing, Sister Farah. When my children were younger and me and their dad separated, I came to my mom. We were working together, and one of the conversations that I had with her that I began to realize, and because my mom did a really great job raising me, and I told her, like, Mom, if you had been more open with your experience with my father, then I would have had a different view of how to navigate my experience with my children's father. Because I realized different synchronicities in my cycle that was in my mom's cycle. I'm solely to the point where my mom's a Pisces, my dad's a Libra, I'm a Pisces, my children's dad is a Libra. So I started to think after me and my children's dad separated about cycles really heavy. And I was like, remembering a passage in the Bible where it was like, the children, it's in so many words, I'm not saying it verbatim, like the children pay for the sins of the father. And I reorganized that in my mind. I said, that's because as parents, whatever cycles we couldn't heal in our life, by default, or the knowledge to even know the cycles that are coming to them. Sometimes it's because of fear that we don't want to trust, so we become more authoritarian, where it's like, just do as I say, not as I did kind of mentality. And we don't understand that sometimes that there's going to be walking by those who come after us. That's generational. What becomes in our DNA, and this is what we pass down to our children. So I feel like we do a bigger justice by being open and want to bash father, because my dad had a great relationship, and so the fear was like maybe him wrong, and then you heard view of other men. But I was always taught to man has to learn from the mistakes of the fool, and so we had understanding of their full relationship. I would have been confused in certain things that I was going through in my marriage. I was confused, like, am I supposed to deal with this? There was no open communication to say, hey, this is what I went through too. I think when we have knowledge, they say knowledge is power, or we can ignore it. We have the free will, but don't deny us the knowledge. Allow our free will to use that knowledge whichever way we need. But when you deny someone the knowledge, that is it's not conducive to us coming together as as a community, as a village, and as a people anymore. So we have to let go of fear of this knowledge. We have a lot of, because if you teach this child how to read, master gonna kill my baby. So let me not teach my baby knowledge. I'm just gonna let them figure it out. That's a program. That was a program that was masterfully crafted, you know, so that we can continue the cycle of not giving. Maybe these children are gonna bust out my windows. Maybe these children are gonna. So I have a fear that's gonna disconnect me as an elder from speaking some knowledge to this child. So we have to let go of fear. I believe there was a point in time in our village where we didn't fear leaving, transitioning. We knew that was a power. This world, that someone was there in another energy level to help us, and that was powerful. So we celebrated. And I believe that the modern day way we deal with transitioning is a program that allows us to fear transitioning, sort of transition soon. And it's, to me, as I've regained a new relationship with transitioning, I'm like, okay, the more of us on the opposite side is gonna, you know, bring big impact to those of us here as well. Because we go on there with the knowledge and information that once I transition, I can be a better power. You know, so there's so much power in knowledge and being open to our next generation. Around fires, we sat in circles. We told very in-depth stories, and we had different spiritual powers and essences of being themselves as the wise man, learning from the mistakes of the fool. You know, and we don't have those stories enough. A lot of us don't even moms, you know, or let alone great grands, you know. So we don't know that great grandmother went through the exact same thing I'm going through right now. She had these exact thoughts. We don't know this thought. It was transitioned and transferred down to me, so I can be the cycle stopper in this family. We don't have this context of words and understanding, you know, so things. But a big thing that I think a lot of times is missing is that openness of our personal story because of fear. So we have to drop fear. We have to let that fear be. It's stop us from circulating in any of our circles, any of our energy circles. You know, we just understand, okay, you ain't got no control here. So fearlessly, I'm going to tell my story. I'm not going to care if someone is going to use my story. So there's nothing you can use in that against me. You know, and there's power in how we take back just that knowing that we have the power of how someone else can project our story. And it doesn't have to make us fear. Because a lot of times I feel like that's what makes us not tell our story. Like Betty down, like, I don't care about Betty down the street. She got her own story that really is the same because we're interconnected and we're going through a lot of the same things. It's the same story with different.
Well, that was beautiful, both of you guys. I think what came to my mind when I heard both of you guys speak was the truth shall set you free. You know, truth shall set you free. And unfortunately, because we've been lied to for so long, that I believe we picked up the habit of just lying. And it's not something that I truly don't believe is our fault. But again, it goes back to fear of, if I tell the truth, what will happen? And this and that. So understanding that us as parents, adults, we have to be able to stand in our truth, what it is that we've been through, acknowledge how we played a part in our pain, healing, trauma, and then being able to work it out to where we'll be able to help the next person and or child. So I believe that with the youth today, in environments just as so like my event, the young girl that came to the event, she was like, she told her mom, like, I had so much fun, we're gonna do it again, and honestly, with them being younger, I didn't know they was gonna come, but I'm glad that they did, because they love the experience of just she like, I like the mirrors, just little things, and at the end of the day, regardless of how young they are, there's things being put in their mind when you put them in those type of environments. So I truly believe, even just me, for myself, for my son is 3, like I will leave and go where I know that I can provide my son with the best knowledge, the best education, because knowledge is power, like my sister Onyx said. And if you can at least be able to create that atmosphere and that environment for them to be able to grow, and train that child up so it won't depart when they go astray, then, that at the end of the day, you did your job. It's so much that our children are going against right now in this world, and it doesn't make it better when you have just, our children are being more programmed by just television and the music and stuff in that matter. So I would say, like, for us as parents, mothers, fathers, is that if we can just strive to be able to be a good example, and that's by, changing some of the things that we do, what we listen to, and also just have those conversations. I remember being younger, feeling kind of like I couldn't talk. Like I couldn't really, like if there was something wrong, I was scared to say what was on my mind or what was wrong, because I was scared I was to get in trouble or scared something like that. Like you see that programming that was already set in me when I was a child. Like if I tell my truth of what I'm going through, I might get in trouble, so I keep it hidden. So being able to have that space for our children to be able to vent, to talk, and us actually listen, and not listen for a rebuttal back to our children, but actually listen to understand. That's how the relationship, that's how you're able to grow that bond. And that's how that's how the children be able to trust you more. We gotta go back to building trust. We've lost trust in each other. We lost so much trust in each other. We trust the white man with everything, like whatever. But when it comes to us, one little thing, nah, I'm cool. Like, no, like, let's not do that. So it just really, really hits deep for me. That's why I said, like, with me being in a certain atmosphere, I mean, I'm still young, but just me being in a certain atmosphere when I was younger, and then me transitioning into Islam, and just seeing just how all my life I've been lied to, and then with me being in Islam, I also built up my confidence, because now I know who I am. I found my truth, and I want to be able to be a good example so that next person can stand in their truth, a woman, man, or child. So it just all goes down to just being able for us to create that atmosphere, that environment so children can vent, they can talk, they can share what's on their mind without being penalized, not without being criticized or, made fun of, and also being able to actually have things for them to do. I think that's the biggest thing. We don't have, like, us, my sisters, we down here. I really think that there needs to be actual things that these children are doing. They need to be active, get in purposeful activity, because when you get your children into certain things, it's kind of like idolizing their mind. I think I said it right. Idolizing their mind to do things that is other than their self, then that's what they become. So purposely getting our children in certain activities that will not just grow their self physically, but just grow their self mentally, spiritually, being able to allow them to know who God is, however you see God fits in your life. So it all goes back, like I said, all goes down to creating that environment and also being able to create meaningful and purposeful activities for them to get into, so we don't find our children out here smoking and drinking and and getting killed by the police and stuff like that, because they may not have been in the right environment or stuff like that. Like us as parents, of course, we try as best. We're gonna try our best, because at the end of the day, Allah is God, and whatever happens. We can't really change some of the circumstances, but we can try to. I want to say, you know, I want to say prepare, like kind of already, like we know what's going on in this world. We know the police are killing our children. What do we do now so this won't continue to happen? What do we do now when we see our young girls out here sex trafficking and getting raped? What can we do now, knowing that we have the knowledge of ourselves and God now? What do we do now so we can stop the next person from not going through that? So
curating intentional spaces.
mm-hmm. Exactly.
Healing is a vital component. I think that's something that was resounding throughout this discussion, this reflection, this recap. So I'm thankful that all three of you warrior queens have a healing heart and divine intention to be able to recognize, diagnose, and to provide a prescription for the affliction. Affliction exists and prescription is there for the affliction. So with the power of your gifts, the power of your talents, the power of your mind, and the power of your intentions coming into these spaces are transformative. So healing is vital, healing is necessary. So we have these compound interests. The X chromosome, it doesn't vary so much. So the same way my great grandfather was, I am. That's you understand what I'm saying? Like I could go back 7 to 10 generations this way and go 7 to 10 generations in the future, and we'll be the same if nothing changes. If there's no divine intervention, there's no divine intentions placed on being transformative. That's the game changer in between. So if my great grandfather drunk and cussed like a sailor, the propensity coming down is 1,000% higher, unless some intentional divine intervention takes place within the lineage to show a righteous example. So in that space of healing internally heals everything external. So the beauty and the space that y'all provide in regards to healing and reconciliation is phenomenal. So I just want to thank y'all from the deepest recesses of my being for being the healing modalities. I know it's oftentimes nobody's there for the healer. The healer there for everybody else. But when the healer going through something, you understand what I'm saying? That space of reciprocity isn't always offered. So I want to be intentional in the space of reciprocity. Before we go, we got final thoughts. Miss Angelica, please tell us about this podcast. Tell us about this ebook. I was peeking through my peek and I seen something about this ebook. Okay. So we'll save you for last. Natural Onyx, we got finding words where people can find you, where they can get locked. Okay, if they need to get locked, because you saving folks' life in the loctician space and so many other things. Please share what you do and where people can find you. Sister Farah also as well. So we go Natural Onyx, Farah, share your thoughts, find the word where people can find you socially and get in tune with you physically out there, and we'll end off with Angelica.
Yeah, so thank you first and foremost on board. Thank you also for inviting me, Angelica. And thank you for being present with us too, Sister Farah. You guys can Firstly, check out my website, www.naturalonyxdimension.com. That's NaturalOnyxdimension.com. On there, you can see that I host sound bowl therapy. Yes, I do group meditations every fourth Sunday here at the Heart Dayton. It's called the Healing Mind. So I also do one-on-one sound therapy sessions as well. We actually here in the sound therapy shop. When it comes to the crown health, that's downstairs. I had a crown health shop, so anyone that's interested in lock restoration, just crown health restoration, no tension styling, block repair. I do it all when it comes to that, and that also can be found on my website. I'm actually just completed my training to be a postpartum doula, and I'll be completing my training in August to be a birthing doula. So that'll be available as well on my website. You can tap in with me on all social sites under Natural Onyx, NaturalOnyx. So I really hope you guys definitely tap in with us. I'll be included in a lot more of the community gatherings and meetings that are out here for our women, our children, and men as well. So we have self-care labs that I do through Spectrum of Beginnings here in Dayton, up at Five Rivers on Saturdays, like third and fourth Saturdays. So yeah, I have a lot going on. If you just check me out on my social sites, you can see and be a part. You can see yourself as a part of these different healing modalities that we are here to offer to our community. Side note, I am currently on a love activation tour with my band.
Hey, I'm about to say you better tell something about something with the something of the something, okay? Because you know you be on that microphone.
We're actively activating the love across the world. So if you would like to come and see a show and get some really good energy, great vibes, you can check that website out, lovelocksex.com. That's LUVLOCZEX.com. If you would like to see us bring a show to your city, you can click that on that website, go and subscribe, and you can send us an email with your inquiries and such through there as well. So all praises to the Most High. Thank everyone for having me involved in this.
Guess it's my turn. You can find me, Farah Hasina, on just basically Facebook. I am on Instagram under the same name. I am actually a holistic healer. I don't talk much about it, but I do Reiki, reflexology, chakra healings. I don't do a lot of, advertising, but I do specialize in that. I do have quite a few patients, as I would say. Other than, I'm just me, you guys. I don't know. This is like my first time really doing this. So, but Farah Hasina, if you want to get in touch with me about any of those type of things, that's where you can find me at.
And I'm so glad my sister
you heard her try to slide that little bit of greatness. You understand? Like, come on. She said this kind of like her first time, but it won't be her last time.
Okay, that's why I was
Mr. Farrell, we got to be all up in your business, fam. You coming back here, okay? You and Mister, okay? We need to get y'all together, all right? And come on back here and share some of this black love secrets with us, all right? Don't be trying to hide. Okay? Don't be trying to hide.
Yes, I was just gonna say that too. Like I said, praise be to Allah. Thank you so much, Farah, for coming on and joining. I kind of figured it was your first time, but it's not going to be your last. I really, really believe that you should start using your voice. And I'm looking forward to seeing your face everywhere. Yeah. So, all right. Praise be to Allah. Thank you so much, Jonathan, again, for allowing me to share space on your platform and talk about the event. Again, it was such a beautiful event. Inshallah, I really want to plan to if Allah sees fit, I want to take this experience all over the world. So y'all guys pray that Allah bless me to make that happen. Yes. So during the event, I actually went ahead and announced my new ebook, which is called Thrive, a guide for young Black women to reconnect with self and God. So everyone that came to the event got a free copy of my ebook. So praise be to Allah. I hope that those that got it enjoyed it. So yes. So the ebook is a very short, simple ebook. However, if you want to get more I would say more into your healing, I did provide my information in the back of the ebook to start getting consultation calls and more into your healing journey. So yes. If you don't have the ebook, please get it now. Support your sister. If you want to find the ebook as well, you can find it on my social media pages. I'm on Facebook mostly, Instagram barely, TikTok fairly, but I do post on all of my social media platforms, and I'm also on YouTube as well, which is where my podcast started. Healing with Angelica podcast now has been going on a year and a half. No, oh my gosh, I think I'm going 2 years. I don't have my podcast for 2 years and a half now. So praise be to Allah. So yes, if you are needing that good nutrition in that mind, definitely check out Healing with Angelica podcast, where we discuss all things healing, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And I think that's it. I have my Healing Tribe merch with clothes. I have mugs and different type of things as well. And I'm also just your sister. So just know that I'm your sister and I love you. And whatever it is that God has on your heart to do, be, and it is.
Y'all is so amazing. Okay. The people say, are they taking this show on the road? Okay. Are y'all getting some conglomerate together to plan a tour on the road and folks have y'all come to their location?
Man, it's happening.
I said them. That's what they asked me. They was like, hold on, fam. Don't be trying to let them leave without asking them. Are they putting the band together? Are they taking this show on the road? Okay, so folks just asking out here. They're asking. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for your jewels. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you for your love, mothers. Okay, continue to be great, and may Allah the Most High continue to bless you all and keep you. All right. And tell Farrah, look, I'm coming. I'm in the business. I'm coming. You coming back on here. Right? Coming back on here. Right. So peace and blessings to y'all. Enjoy your day.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Hypno music.
Yeah, gotta let it go.